And hello to Juuson Juttusilla podcast, this time in English. And in this podcast, we are looking what's behind the curtain, and we are diving deep into the things and what there is. And I'm interviewing people who have found some modalities, who have found some ways, who have found something they are using, and they are giving it as a practice as well, or doing it as a practice as well. And today I have a guest, Robin DeWan. Hello, Robin. Good to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Could you introduce yourself a little bit? Who are you and where are you coming from?
Who am I? The great question.
The great question. You can answer that any way you like.
Okay. In Advaita, that is the big question to ask. Who am I? But
yes.
we'll take a more practical turn to that question right now. I was born in Colorado, USA.
Yeah.
And I grew up basically in Colorado. I went to university in Southern California. And then I began a long series of travels around the globe. I've been living in Japan, Holland, Spain, Sweden, and most recently and currently in Finland.
Okay.
And I've been a musician for part of that journey. I'm a singer-songwriter as well, but the didgeridoo is my main instrument. This I picked up in 1992. I first discovered it in '89 when I was traveling in Southeast Asia. Back then, there were hardly anyone playing didgeridoo in the West, so I had trouble finding an instrument. And luckily, there was a gentleman by the name of Gary Thomas, who was traveling around, the didgeridoo player, and he gave a one-day workshop when I was living in Stockholm. And so from there, I began learning how to play didgeridoo, first making my own instruments out of cardboard and then upgrading to plastic because, again, you couldn't find any instruments back in that time.
Yeah.
And slowly it became my favorite instrument of choice. I was always immediately, the first time I heard it, I was really fascinated with it. I was working with electronic music at the time, and just the low drone sound and the continuous sound had a very meditative effect on me. And as it does to most people who hear it, it's got quite a distinctive, fascinating sound. It draws you into it. And after I began playing it for a while and really slow going in the beginning, just teaching myself, it became my instrument of choice, and it's my main instrument as a musician. And I've since gone on to use it in healing work as well.
Yeah. Can you describe the moment that what happened in the moment you found the didgeridoo or it found you?
There's a couple different moments. First, when I saw it, the person couldn't really play it very well, but I liked the sound of it. And then I was on my way to moving to Spain at the time, and a friend of mine who was coming from the States to live, we were going to live together and try to make a go of it, of living in Spain. It didn't really succeed, so I can hardly say I lived there. But he brought a bunch of records with him, and one of them was by a band called Lights in a Fat City. This was a groundbreaking didgeridoo record by who I later found out became one of the key players in my development and one of the internationally most renowned players, Stephen Kent. Well, he was the didgeridoo player in that, and it was all about didgeridoo. And from that moment on, I said, this is really something, I've got to find out more about this instrument. And then it took a while before I found out anything about it because it wasn't around much. But then when Gary Thomas came to town in Stockholm, he gave a short concert and then a workshop, and then I signed up.
Yeah.
That was the year 1992. That was
1992. Okay, so what made you to sign in? What you were expecting?
Just basically soul attraction. It was just calling me. It was an instrument sound that I just loved. At first I just wanted to pick it up to add to the other instruments I was dabbling with, but soon it kind of overtook me and became my principal interest. I love it because it has a really calm, meditative sound. And it also can be used really rhythmically. It's really unlike any instrument out there, actually. Closest thing would be maybe like throat singing, Tibetan throat singing in terms of sound.
Yeah.
And, or not Tibetan, but excuse me, Mongolian or Tuvan throat singing. And I just decided from that moment on, when I started playing it and learning more, that I was going to devote myself to it. So it was the sound, the unique sound that it has, that drew me in.
Yeah. You mentioned like the meditative state. Have you tried the meditation, like the sitting meditation or walking meditation, and how does it compare to those ones?
Well, sound is a powerful force for meditation. It can be used for meditation. I often play for long periods of time, and I get into a kind of trance state. So it calms the mind. It relaxes the body, which is similar to most meditation techniques as well. It can bring up all kinds of insights, personal insights as well, as can bring up to the surface archetypal characters and things like this. So it's a little bit different than meditation as I've known it, in that it can induce something like some kind of dream states occasionally, where you're getting visions even. But on the level of the meditation and the relaxation, it shares that in common with most standard meditation techniques, which I've been practicing also for 20 years or more.
Yeah, you've been practicing it a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been studying a little bit like the human biology and psyche and different modalities, meditation and biohacking as well. And there is the different vibrations can help you to gain more relaxed states of mind. There is, for example, this neurosonic, like the sleeping bed, which you kind of lie down and it kind of resonates with the body. And also, I think there are some studies done also when you are breathing out like a ma or or it's like your own voice. It changes your heart rate variability and activates your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm guessing like in a biological sense, it helps you to got these relaxations.
Oh, definitely. It definitely stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, as you said. That is one of the strong things. It also entrains the brain to certain brain waves. We're usually in the beta brainwave stage, and the didgeridoo or other sound instruments, actually other sound healing instruments, can entrain the brain to alpha and theta brainwaves, which are much more conducive to relaxation, calmness, and intuition. So it has many effects in terms of healing on the physical, emotional, and spiritual realms.
Yeah, I was in one workshop with one interesting person was describing that the sound is the way we've been communicating long before we had words, and like a lot of mammals are communicating with just sounds, for example cows and sheep and wolves and this kind of ways, and how the sound resonates carries a lot of information as well. So I'm guessing like the didgeridoo is carrying a lot of this relaxation resonances.
Right. And also a big part of the work I do in healing is intuition. And not only just intuition in feeling out the room and the patients, but also intention, having a direct intention. So sound combined with intention, focused sound combined with intention has a powerful effect. And the sound can transmit that intention as well as the healer's own personal energy and personal resonance with the client or the room. Actually, when I do concerts as well, I'm always trying to emanate some very high vibrational feelings into what I do to emanate to the entire room. So it's actually more than just music. All music in some degree can be seen as well, it has such a powerful impact on us. But there's a lot of music that has some aspects of healing in it. And I really try to emphasize that when I'm playing, so that there is an intention, focused intention that goes out to the audience and the listeners when I'm playing.
Yeah.
Which is to uplift and elevate the consciousness.
Yes, I guess that you can hear and feel it, and like in your subconscious mind and the body, how it feels, the resonances, like the intention you put the instrument, and it can definitely make you feel different. Okay, but what point you kind of start to perform as like a musician, and was it before you started to do this like a healing journeys, or how your journey continued from the moment you find the course?
Right. Well, I had done electronic music earlier, and I put out some electronic music and had some gigs with that, and I'd been playing guitar and for a while. And it was actually though with Didgeridoo that my career really started taking off. I would say that was around 95 when I started playing live gigs, and that was about the same time I started really getting serious with the healing aspect of the Didgeridoo. So I was invited to a festival in Stockholm, a healing festival, to give a concert and a workshop. And I also started teaching Didgeridoo at the same time. So I do teach people how to play it as well.
Okay.
So the healing came in interesting enough. I was at a rainbow gathering in Ireland in 1993, a year after I had been playing the Didgeridoo. And somebody there was doing healing with Didgeridoo. I never heard of it before. And he had the people lie down and then was playing over them and explaining how the effect the sound had on us. And immediately, just right then when I felt that, I thought, oh, this is really something for me. I was already into healing, Reiki healing, and different modalities of healing. And then I thought, I love the Didgeridoo, and I'm in healing. I can use this. I want to learn more about this. So that was my first experience of actually feeling what the Didgeridoo can do directly on myself, not just from listening to it, but actually having it played over me. And then I started studying it more after that, studying different kinds of sound healing. There was not that much written about Didgeridoo at the time. I still not sure if there is that much written about it in terms of actual sound healing, but there's a lot of material out there, general sound healing. So I was studying some of that. And actually, the Australian Aboriginals haven't been really talking much about the healing aspects. They say that there's something going on there, but either haven't been open to sharing it with Westerners, or it's difficult to communicate in a comprehensible way. So it's clear that anybody who's playing it has that intuitive feeling that this is more than just a music instrument. So yeah, it was about that time when I started picking it up as a music instrument, or as an instrument for healing, as well as a music instrument.
Yeah, the rainbow gatherings are quite excellent. I was one in the Finland here in last summer, 3 weeks.
Yes, I heard
the
about
forest.
it.
Really,
heard it
really
was great.
Yeah.
I thought about coming myself. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you said there that you felt this, like the one guy who was playing Didgeridoo. Did you feel that it changed you somehow, the experience, like how you were before that versus which you were after?
Not in a big way. The biggest change was that I said, I want to do this. I want to practice this. I want to learn more about this. It was very short. There was a number of people in the workshop, so I think each one played over us for like 5 minutes. But immediately I got a sense of great relaxation and well-being. So can't really say anything permanent, but it definitely did me some good.
Yeah. Many times it's like what I've been studying, meaningfulness and purposefulness, is that if something helps myself, me, or you, and then it is something I want to kind of keep on giving to others as well.
Absolutely.
So you said that like there's like a relaxation, calmness which came, and is it that what you are aiming to do with the didgeridoo at the moment?
Well, on the most basic level, yes. If people, if that's all they get out of it, that's something that's really valuable, the relaxation, the calmness. But it's much deeper than that too. Can bring up memories, like I mentioned earlier, archetypal images. It can bring up visions in people. It works on the subtle energies, so it actually can balance the chakras. It's in a way recalibrating the energy field of the person, so that it brings them back into a state of wholeness, harmony. So depending on how open the person is and how sensitive they are, that depends on what they'll get out of it. It's also been shown and proven scientifically to help different ailments, some of which are anxiety, sleep disorders, depression, ADHD, cancer. I've had some of my clients report great healings, headaches disappearing recently. Somebody even said that the pain in their knee had gone away. So it can work on specific health issues as well. So general well-being is great, but it also can trigger a healing process for other deeper issues within the body person.
Yeah. What do you think? How does it work there? Like,
it's a good question. I think part of it, well, it's on a subatomic level. Sound is energy, so it is penetrating the body and the subtle body in a way, and something mysterious happens there. It's in a way like, how does Reiki work? You're not even touching the person. There is, it works on an energetic level. And that's, probably involved with the quantum field as well. So you're actually dealing with something invisible and difficult to say exactly what's happening and what's going on there. But the results have been amazing, and the feedback has been amazing. So it's I'm definitely sure something's going on there. It is working.
Definitely. Yeah, many times when people when we are scared, like something happens, and it kind of stays in the body and we don't get it out. Like, for example, cats and dogs, and like cats, for example, and many other animals, they kind of shake it out, the scariness. Then it's like the shakiness is like some sort of a resonance there in the body. And I guess like some elements of it could be, or kind of a sound or singing, and with the didgeridoo, it's I've been a couple of didgeridoo, not healing modalities, but some concert I've been listening it to be played, and it kind of you can really feel it in the chest, for example, how it goes, and it could be one element there as well.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely good for releasing blockages. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's the whole point, is to get the energy flowing, and sound can trigger the releases of blocked energy so that it's flowing more fluidly within the person. Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah. Do you use it to yourself somehow, the didgeridoo?
Well, when I play it, I get a massage immediately on my head and my jaw, because it's vibrating straight there. So I get benefit from it. And then just playing for long periods of time, there's breath work involved in it, the circular breathing. So that seems to have a very refreshing feeling on my energy field. If I play for a while, I notice I get a lot more relaxed. I'm not as my worries or anxieties just seem to disappear. I can get in a state of really great relaxation and calmness. So I've thought about that for a while, like, as a player, what am I getting directly in terms of the resonance? And the end of the didgeridoo is a ways away, so the sound is going out there mostly, but I'm working my whole head and upper body and vibrating. So that's actually kind of an internal massage for the player as well.
Yeah. You mentioned before we were talking at one point that you are doing some like concerts and workshops in the States. Like how
Yes.
those usually went?
They were great. I was amazed actually. I traveled to Southern Arizona. Usually I've been traveling there because my father lives there most years. And just right before this Corona pandemic hit, in the first months of this year, I was in Arizona, and there were meetings of different groups, meditation groups and metaphysical groups. And one person just asked if anybody in the group has any special modalities that they use for healing, and I decided to mention that I use Didgeridoo, and there was immediately a rush of response, and they booked me to speak at the next group. So I talked about Didgeridoo, and then people signed up for individual therapy sessions, and from there, two groups, actually two different meditation groups, wanted me to come talk about it. So it was kind of a phenomenon. A lot of people had not heard of it. These were mainly retired people. It's in a kind of retirement city in Southern Arizona. And I just was amazed by the response from it. And actually my Didgeridoo comes from Arizona. It's right here. I've got a couple Didgeridoos, but this is my favorite one. This is and made out of agave cactus, which grows in the Sonoran Desert in Southern Arizona. And it's made by my friend who recently passed away, Alan Shockley. And he discovered this instrument about, it was right around the time when Didgeridoo came to the West in a big way, which is about the time I picked it up too, early 90s. In 89, somebody had come through Tucson, Arizona, where he lives. And he played, a player came through and taught him how to play. And he discovered that we have all these stalks growing out of cactuses right in our backyard. So why don't we just try to make an instrument out of this? So he perfected this what he calls the Dreamtime pipe. And this is a real beauty. So Didgeridoo in Arizona was really popular. People had heard of it, but they didn't know. A lot of people had never heard it live, or they hadn't heard about it in the healing sense. So. But actually, there's in Southern Arizona, there's quite a lot of players. It's because of Alan, basically.
Okay.
So, shall I give you a sample of what it sounds like?
Yeah, please do.
All right.
That sounded awesome.
Oh, good. Glad that came out.
It came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you keep your lips there and take from another side from your mouth.
Actually, no, I keep that side of the mouth completely closed. I just take in air very quick through the nose and hold it in the cheeks.
Okay.
And then push out while I inhale very quickly. That's the circular breathing technique. But the mouth should be completely closed on, has to be a really tight seal on the mouthpiece. And then the lips just vibrate. You learn how to just keep them vibrating like this.
Yeah.
And then the rest, of course, is coming from your whole upper body, from your diaphragm down. Use your vocal cords, use your tongue as a reed to create the harmonics. You use your diaphragm for rhythms. So it's very what I call a body instrument. It's actually just a hollow sound chamber, but your body is the instrument. So every didgeridoo player, even if they're playing the same instrument, will always sound different.
Is there some like guidance if you are feeling the resonance towards the didgeridoo and want to come to a concert or a sound healing? So what would you do? Do you need to have sort of that now I want to get rid of the pain, and or do you need to come the mind of relaxation, or what is the mindset or body set or the intentions when you come to your workshops, for example?
Well, either way, it's if they have a specific issue, then they want to come and see if we can work on that, that's fine. Or if they just want to come for a kind of sound massage, that's really what it is. You can look at that as like you would go in for a physical massage when you're feeling aches or pains or just want relaxation. Same thing for a sound massage. You can come in anytime for the treatment of the sounds. I also use singing bowls in my treatments as well. So I know we have an event coming up pretty soon, and
yes, we have.
I will be bringing some of this along as well.
Getting nice tones from those ones as well. Yeah, we have a event coming up, this aidon kokemisen tila, which is in English that space for authentic experiencing. It is 15th of this month, in 1.5 weeks from recording this. There's a couple of workshops for the listeners, watchers. There's some tickets still left there, and Robin is giving a workshop and demonstration, and you talk a little bit also about the didgeridoo. So would you tell a little bit that what's going to happen in next week's Sunday?
Yes, well, I'll talk a little bit about the didgeridoo from a cultural perspective, from how it's used in Aboriginal culture to how it became used in Western music and Western healing, which is pretty recent, actually, within the last 3 decades. It's really taken off. It's kind of strange that it's considered one of the oldest instruments in the world, if not the oldest instrument, because the Australian Aborigine culture dates back at least 60,000 years, and that's the longest continuous culture that we know of. So it's funny that it has been kind of not really picked up by Westerners for so long, but in the late 80s, early 90s is when it really started taking off. So I'll talk about that. I'll play some didgeridoo. I'll give a demonstration of a sound healing session with someone, and then I'll invite the participants to lie down, and I'll move around the room with didgeridoos and sound bowls and play around and over each person, and it will be a kind of sound bath experience for everyone there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, and I'm already excited and waiting for that.
Great, me too.
Yeah. What has kept you going with the didgeridoo? What is its magic for you?
Oh, I think the didgeridoo is what has kept me going. It's around. Without that, I don't know. It's been it's really been my great companion. And I was living in Sweden, and then when I moved to Finland actually because my career took off in Finland. Actually, I was sort of discovered by a Finnish pop band, Aikakone. Did I say that right?
Aikakone.
Aikakone, yes.
Yeah.
And I played on their third record, and then my career started just blossoming in Finland from there. And so I actually always liked Finland quite a lot, and I had a lot of friends there. So it was easy for me to make the move, very close from Sweden as well. And then things started really happening for me there. So it's been my central as a musician, it's been my central instrument, and it's really the one that has really kept me afloat as a professional musician, because I've been really devoted myself to it, and I've had so many opportunities here in Finland. So, and I just love the sound of it. It's just wonderful, and the fact that I can bring it into healing now more than ever, which I'm focusing on. There was a time when I was focusing more on the music and less on the healing, and now it's kind of reversed. I'm more focusing on the healing. And now with the coronavirus and everything, the situation for musicians is changing as well. But I still got some music projects, but I really want to take the healing aspect to the next level with this.
What made you to have this change from more music to more healing?
That's a good question. I think it was just because it's really about my own spiritual life. I've been more interested in spiritual matters. I always have been, but it's been really taking off lately, and I'm more focused on spiritual, on my spiritual path. And so that has led into me wanting to not only heal myself, but assist in the healing of others. And I've been blessed with this gift. And so this is what I've been, with what I've understood is one of the main avenues for me to work, to be of service and to work as a healer in this world. So kind of was my calling, and I love it. I just love doing it. So I guess that's the main thing, is that my spiritual interest in spiritual matters, and the amount of time and energy that I'm devoting to spiritual endeavors has increased. So naturally my shift focused, or naturally my focus shift more to that.
Yeah. Is there something you wish you have known before related to anything about the life or spiritual things or the Didgeridoo?
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So much. I mean, I still feel like I'm a beginner. I guess the main thing is I do wish I had devoted a lot more time and energy to the healing aspect earlier. And, I mean, this is something that I think is more valuable and profound that I can offer people. I mean, music's great too, but I think that in general, I would have devoted much more time to my spiritual path earlier in my life, instead of putting things off and kind of bypassing a lot of issues in my life. And so I'd say live an authentic life from as soon as, from the beginning, and the universe will provide for you, and it will show you the way, and you'll come into a higher state of harmony and happiness.
Yeah, I love to hear this kind of things from people, because it's usually the biggest teachings the universe is trying to give us. When you kind of and then some point you realize that, oh, I hope I would have known this before. And it is some kind of a message which we can give onwards as well, and so the others don't have to hit the head so hard to the same wall as we have hit it. And
absolutely. Well, I've hit my head enough times, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I've hit my head as well many times.
Actually, many things. I actually was in a car accident, and I did fracture my skull. So that wasn't a wake-up call to. But yeah, that was quite a long time ago. That was in Finland too, before I even moved.
Yeah. It's like a wake-up Robin now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Is there something you would like to say to the listeners, to the watchers, who are some thing which is on your mind now, which you haven't been able to say before?
Well, I would say I kind of just said it pretty much right now. I think that's the truest thing, is to live an authentic life, find things that you're passionate about, and just go for them. And there is where your calling is, and that's where you'll be of highest service, and you can give the most out. so many of us get stuck in jobs that we don't like or things that we don't want to do because we think we need to pay the bills and everything. And I'd say take the risk and just go out and do what you love and what you're called to, because it may be rough in the beginning, but that's also here to test us and to make us stronger. And then you really, really love what you're doing and have a service to give to people, it will be rewarded. You will be all right, and you will be much more in alignment and authentic with your true self.
Excellent words. Excellent words. I think I totally agree, and I've been doing that actually myself now with this
like you have,
Sentila, like the events. I've been getting much out of different kind of events, different kind of healing events, and sort of things. And I've been getting out of a lot of from different workshops and which I've been participating, and now I want to kind of give that onwards, and I've been organizing. This is the third one coming the next week's Sunday, and
I just wanted to
cool
say
to
that you're really doing great work with this. I've been to the other two, and they've been fantastic. We met last summer at the Elos Fest briefly, or we were both at the Elos Fest, and then when I saw you were doing this, I thought this is what the world needs more of right now. We had the Emotional Skills Festival in Helsinki, which you were also a part of. We were both part of
I was giving one workshop there.
And I was playing Didgeridoo there at one of the concerts. And then right after that, this came along. You started these events. And I thought, this is something I've been seeing. I saw this in Arizona also. I think this is actually something I really want to say, that I think this is a global trend, that people are getting together more. They're meeting spontaneously, often with a spiritual intent, either directly said or indirectly communicated. And often the events are free, so they're open to anyone to come. So the barriers are really dissolving between people getting together and coming together for these major events. So I see this as part of the global shift that's happening. And I immediately made that resonance with your events when you started this. I thought, oh, this is part of the big change that's happening. So well done, Juuso.
Yeah, thank you. So for the next event, there's a little fee. The smallest ticket is those €7 only for 6 hours. So I want to keep them so they are reachable for the people. So is there a place where people can find more about you or your work at the moment?
It's actually the best way is to meet me on Facebook. My name is Robin DeWan, DEWAN. That's the best way. My website is down right now. I'm getting it rebuilt, so it will reflect more of the transformation that I'm going through, the healing and everything. When that comes back up, it will be robindewan.com. But in the meantime, Facebook is probably the easiest way.
Yeah, let's put your Facebook link there at the show notes.
Great.
Okay, excellent. It was good to chat with you, and let's keep on resonating.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Juuso.
Excellent. Thank you to you and all the listeners and watchers. Thank you as well. We'll see and hear on the next episodes of Juuson Juttusilla.